Well, hello everyone, I'm Jill Bloom, Group Publisher of Roofing Contractor in Walls and Ceilings, and welcome to our podcast show. It is such an honor. It's been a great day. I'm here with Tammy Clark of Tammy Clark Consultants, and what an amazing day of safety training you've done. It was so amazing to watch you in action and capture some great footage. Anyway, Tammy,
thank you.
Here we're going to wrap up the day. Here we are.
Yes, wrapping up the day in beautiful Montana after having our hard hats on for the day and being on site and doing inspections and trainings. And so here we are just relaxing at the end of a long, busy day of travel and inspections and training. And we need to talk about OSHA's national emphasis programs.
We do, because this sounds like this is going to be a big deal. It's coming out, and I'm excited for you to tell everybody in the wall and ceiling industry as well as the roofing industry what's coming up and what does everyone need to be aware of.
So OSHA has a couple of national emphasis programs going on right now that they're focusing on. One has been the fall protection program, and the other is the heat injury and illness program. And so this is really going to affect every contractor. It doesn't matter if you're working from heights or not. The heat injury and illness program right now is being proposed. They're actually putting it out for public commentary, which I suspected they were going to do, and that tells me they're actually going to turn it into an actual standard.
So what does that mean when
What
does that mean when they put it out for public commentary? What does that mean?
Well, a new standard cannot be promulgated unless it goes through the actual rulemaking process as defined by the Agency Act of Congress.
Okay.
So there has to be a rulemaking process that is extended to those in the industry that would be affected.
Okay.
And so they're actually going into that right now. So we're watching that closely because that means it's probably going to be promulgated into an actual standard by next year.
Okay.
And employers are going to have to implement a heat injury and illness program. And there are some specifications and elements of that they will need to follow.
So is it a good thing when they put it out for public commentary? Have you seen has any of us seen those comments yet? Do we know what they're saying?
No, not yet, because right now they're in the process of working through what the internal team needs to do to better communicate with employers. So it's just being proposed. So those of us who work behind the scenes in the legal and the regulatory world are just keeping an eye on where things are right now. But this is where it's moving. So I'm preparing all of my clients. This is going to happen. I have a very strong feeling, and I've worked in the regulatory legal worlds for 20 some years. So I'm pretty confident this is going to happen. So employers just need to be aware. We'll keep an eye on it, and we'll keep people updated through programs like yours.
Okay, yeah, no, it's going to be great. So whether this even gets passed or not as a standard, what are the top 3 things that every contractor listening should implement no matter what, even if they don't have a heat and illness standard in their own company?
Well, we need to understand that heat injury and illness can be fatal, and it affects people differently. So it's never a one-size-fits-all blanket approach. You can't just say after 15 minutes we take a break. At a certain time, you have to watch your employees, because individually we will respond differently. Some people will succumb to heat injury and illness way sooner than others. So you have to make sure that they have frequent rest cycles in the shade, that they can get cooled down, that they're drinking more frequently than just on a regularly scheduled break, and that there is somebody implementing the fact that we have cool water. Employers need to understand they must provide cool water to their employees.
Right.
The company has to provide that. And OSHA is actually looking for this. Somebody on site has to be implementing this program, making sure that the water is cold. It's not water bottles
because it gets hot if it's sitting in the sun
or sitting in the truck. And so they're actually looking for those things already through the National Emphasis Program.
Okay.
So these are things that all employers need to be aware of to implement on high heat and high humidity days.
Okay, so those are heat things. How about cold days? It's different in the wall and ceiling industry than it is in the roofing industry. A lot of people in the roofing industry, of course, that affects them more because they're outside.
Right.
So what are some standards that are important to you as an OSHA expert when it comes to cold?
As an environmental safety professional,
more than just an OSHA expert,
right? Yes, I work in the environmental aspects in the environmental fields as well. So cold injuries are a big deal. When you're working in northern states, even the mid-latitude states, we'll see cold and freezing temperatures, and when the body's not acclimated, people aren't used to those temperatures and they drop, they will succumb to heat or cold injury and illness like hypothermia much quicker.
Yeah.
So
But you were saying earlier, everyone's different. Right?
Everyone has a different internal core body temperature. Okay. We only only fluctuate a few degrees, but some people will succumb to heat or cold injuries much sooner than other people just because of their internal human and genetic factors, their internal core temperature, and some people have a harder time regulating body temperature. So in the construction industry, I find that we need to make sure we give people the ability to take a break and either get warmed up or cooled down, drink, as needed on those days. And so the foremen and the crew leaders really need to keep an eye on their people and not take a blanket one-size-fits-all approach to this.
So when you're in the cold weather, is it just as important to have warm liquids or just liquids in general or water in general?
Just
or
stay away from caffeine. Caffeine will actually cause your body temperature to lower.
Wow.
Even though it feels warm going down, that's the wrong thing to drink to warm up.
Why is that?
Alcohol, caffeine, because it's a vasodilator. And so it actually opens up the cardiovascular system and allows for rapid cooling.
Wow, I did not know that. Because who doesn't love to, like, when you come in from skiing, grab like your hot chocolate ready and just like warm up with that?
Chocolate, it might be okay, but coffee would not. Anything with a lot of caffeine, just stay away from, and alcohol. Alcohol feels warm going down, but
there's probably a whole other standard. Like, do not have alcohol on the job site if you're going up on the roof, right? Probably not a good idea.
Skiing, that's okay. But not if you're trying to warm up. So, wrap in blankets, get any socks, shoes, any clothing that is wet, take that off. Take off the wet clothing and wrap in warm blankets.
Tammy, great information for everybody on what's coming down with OSHA. And thank you so much. It was such a great day today, and I can't wait to share all the videos, our safety videos that we shot over the last couple of days.
Yes.
But thanks for joining me.
Yes, absolutely. It's always fun.
But if anybody needs to reach out to you, how do they find you?
They can find me on socials at Tammy K. Clark. And my email, tkhclark@gmail.com.
Awesome. And if anybody has any questions for us, it's roofingcontractor.com or wconline.com. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for all our free content, especially sign up for our e-newsletters and register for our websites. All the content is free. Follow us on all our social media channels so you can stay up to date on all the great content we're putting together. Like all the interviews we've been doing with Tammy, because safety is so important. And like I always close out, stay safe and healthy, and we can't wait to talk to you soon. Thanks again, Tammy.
Thank you.